Hello, everyone. I'm Dijon,
Not my era.
and welcome to the welcome to the podcast.
To the podcast is frying me.
And welcome to the Mustacast, the podcast about the art of storytelling and how it's used across different mediums. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see our channel grow, and to click the notification bell so that you're notified when we post. As always, free Palestine and everywhere else. So we don't number episodes anymore, but I keep track of them. And today's episode is episode 150. You know,
Special milestone.
hit milestones. And then it's only right that the animation episode is 150
Right.
because it's the section that used to start the episode when all the sections were all together as one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what have you been watching lately in terms of animation?
Let's see. Lots of movies as of late, like animated movies. Watched Shrek again for the first time in a really, really long time. You know, at our job, the office that I hang out in, there's always a movie of some sort. So we watched that. We did like a whole Shrek binge. Watched all four movies in one sitting, and that was interesting. Um, what else? There's another movie we watched in particular that I really haven't seen in a really long time. It's another Disney movie, and the name slips my mind. Was it Finding Nemo? It wasn't Finding Nemo. It was. I don't remember, but we've been watching a lot of Disney movies in the office lately, so that's been really fun. And then of course, our big thing, but we'll talk about that later.
I forgot that there were four Shreks. Thought there were only three.
hmm
There's more,
Yeah,
there's
Shrek.
more of those movies than there need to be.
Shrek Ever After was the weakest one, definitely. Uh, MF sleep on Shrek the Third. People act like Shrek the Third isn't a decent movie. It's not a good movie, but it's not terrible. It's not Shrek Ever After, that's for sure.
It's just the first two are so good that
hmm
the rest of them look significantly worse by comparison.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen a fourth one.
it's not worth watching. I can't lie. It's not interesting at all.
I like Shrek, but I'm definitely not as big into Shrek as I feel like most people are.
hmm I think a lot of people who say they're super super into it are only super super into it because like of the meme, and now that the meme is dead, it's like they have nothing to show for it. You know?
Yeah. So for me, finished Invincible because season 4 just ended. Still watching uh, Batman Beyond alongside Blind Wave. I finished my own watch through, but still watching them uh, watch through it, and they're closing in to the end of the final season 3. And I need to watch the Batman Beyond movie with the Joker before they get to it towards the end of it.
Mm.
Still watching Just League the animated series alongside Blind Wave as well, and One Piece every Saturday with them. That's always fun.
Yippee!
I started watching Dorohedoro season 2. I'll talk about that later. I started randomly watching Daemons of the Shadow Realm. I'll talk about that later. And last but certainly not least, I've been watching Witch Hat Atelier, and we'll definitely talk about that towards the very end.
Yep.
Yeah, moving into some trailers and news. So, starting with The Incredibles 3 being announced to be in development and releasing June 2028. And I could not be more excited.
Me too.
The first movie is not just my favorite Pixar movie, but one of my favorite movies of all time, period. I
I
also,
honestly think it's one of the best.
for sure, I also really like the second one more than most, but I hope that there's a time skip this time and we get to see the
Yeah.
kids all grown up in a world that has, re-embraced superheroes post Incredibles 2.
hmm
I want to see what like teenage Jack Jack is like,
Right.
and like Violet in college or something,
hmm
or beyond that, depending on how big the jump is.
That's a pretty big jump. It would be nice to get like significantly older. Maybe honestly, it'd be really cool that they probably won't do. Um, if they're like the same age as their parents were in the first movie, that would be neat. I feel like.
That would be interesting. Bring back all the
hmm
same voice actors from the original.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that could be cool.
hmm
I
I'm really excited.
I, I want them to make a spin-off show that's about the golden years when
Mm,
Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl were young. I want
mhm.
that.
That would be. I was going to say we got a Lilo and Stitch show, we got an Emperor's New Groove show. Why no Incredible show?
Exactly.
I learned recently what movie has a show Hercules has a show, an animated
Yeah.
series of all things.
Yeah, it does.
Hercules.
So didn't I think Aladdin had one at one point.
I believe so. Yeah.
A lot of them had shows. Like Tangled had a show at one point that I heard was pretty good. But
Oh yeah,
like
I remember the Tangled
yeah, I
show.
heard like one of the writers made it weird.
Mm,
But
hate that.
yeah, very excited for Incredibles 3.
Mhm.
We also got a new look at Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. We got 4 images and a release date of June 18th, 2027, which I can't remember if they had said that before, but it was at least, reconfirmed at the very least. And yeah, it you know, it looks good. It's Spider-Verse. There's a lot of focus on Miles' dad in the images they shared, which makes sense since the second movie ended with Spider-Man 2099 claiming that Miles' dad dying was a canon event and that he can't prevent it.
Mm.
But all things lead towards that being bullshit, and Miles discovering that, and
I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
yeah, forcing Spider-Man 29 to realize, nah, you just suck, bro. There's no such thing as canon events.
Right. Hashtag skill issue.
Sorry you couldn't save your daughter, okay? But that's a skill issue.
Right.
That has nothing to do with
Right.
me.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
But yeah, definitely excited for that. It's been so
For
long.
sure. Mm-hmm. It's
Uh,
making me want to watch the original two Spider-Verse movies again.
oh,
'Cause
for sure.
God, it's been years.
For sure got to
It's
rewatch
crazy to think
those.
about.
I got both of those on 4K. For sure why rewatching
Ooh.
those. Next we got a poster for My Adventure with Superman Season 3. And on the poster we see Cyborg Superman with an L in his chest, most likely
Ooh.
representing Luthor, who appears in the first 2 seasons as the redheaded Alex, who works for Professor Ivo before he becomes Parasite, and then in the second season he works for Amanda Waller. Before, at the end of season 2, striking out on his own, and presumably he's probably going to form LexCorp. And his
Mm.
full name is of course Alexander, so he goes by Alex, but then eventually he's going to go by Lex.
Lex. That's clever. That's clever, actually.
I can't remember if he went bald last season, but he's probably going to go bald this season if he's not bald
Like,
last season.
we need him to be bald. That's like the most important part.
I think in one comic he went bald because of interacting with kryptonite, which is just irradiated chunks of krypton, and then he went
Mm.
bald from that. I wonder if
I would
they'll
have
do
a
that again.
vendetta against Superman too if that happened to me, though, low key. Like,
um,
in that particular instance, I kind of get
yeah.
it.
We're also getting Superboy this season, as shown via concept art from around a year ago. At this point, we talked about it,
Oh,
and
wow.
in season 2, we also got the introduction of Steel, John Henry Irons. So I suspect we're getting an adaptation of Reign of the Superman, which was
Ooh.
the arc in the comics that followed the death of Superman after he dies in his battle with Doomsday, and several people try to fill the hole left in his absence. Those being, of course, Superboy, Cyborg Superman, Steel, and the Eradicator. So yeah, I
What a pleasant name.
yeah, I have my very specific gripes with this series, but overall I like it, and I'm excited for more and glad that it's still going. Did you
I was
ever
just to
finish it?
say, I had completely forgotten about it. Heike,
You
my
watched the
girlfriend was
first.
watching it more than I was.
You watched the
I watched the
first
first season,
season,
never watched
yeah.
the second.
Okay,
Mm.
you got to
So now I
try the
have
second
an
season.
excuse
Yeah.
to watch the second. Doubly so because we're getting up there on the
Yeah.
comics.
Well,
Okay, I'm locking in.
our next comic after Witch Hat Atelier is gonna be a Superman comic.
Exactly. So I'm like, I gotta prepare.
Also, don't forget that we're getting My Adventures with Green Lantern, which will follow school student Jessica Cruz, who has her life upended when a Green Lantern power ring falls from the sky and chooses Cruz to be its champion. Things get even worse when more debris from the Lanterns' ancient space war arrives, along with their alien foes. With this new poster for Superman, one of the creators of the series also said that Jessica Cruz will appear in this season, likely as a backdoor pilot for the My Adventure with Green Lantern cartoon. But they added
Oh.
that it will be inspired by a specific Toonami anime in the same way that Superman is inspired by Dragon Ball. The reigning
Mm.
guess is that it's going to be Sailor Moon, and that
That
it'll
would be
be
really fun.
very magical girl inspired, which would like you said, be very fun. And you, as a person who's a fan of magical girl anime and getting into Green Lantern through Absolute Green Lantern,
Mhm.
and like I've said before, you would really like just the normal Green Lantern comics as well because they remind me of Star Trek in a lot of ways. How does that
Mhm.
make you feel?
I'm very excited. I've always thought that like the whole Green Lantern Corps was very like magical girl esque. Like what little knowledge I had about it, because it's like, oh, the ring chooses you, and you go through this fantastical transformation, and this, that, and the third, and it's like it's giving magical girl. So it's like
Yeah,
I'm glad that someone's on the same page with me
we
now.
had several Superman magical girl transformations in My Adventure with Superman season 1,
Mm,
so I'm not surprised.
yeah. But it's like, yes, lean into it. We need to bring back magical girls. Okay, we're losing the art.
We're losing recipes, man.
We're losing the
Yeah, we
recipe.
don't really have
Speaking
any
of that,
more like modern day, like modern magical girl anime and manga anymore.
I was to say the only thing we got now is Madoka Magica. Which, speaking of, there's a new movie coming out. They just announced another one.
Cool.
I forgot what it's called though. Yeah, hold on. It's a sequel to Rebellion. It doesn't have an English title yet, but oh, Walpurgis Not Rising is what it's called. My bad. And it comes out in. This was completely unplanned. You talking about magical girls reminded me that it existed. It just says coming soon. We don't know when, but soon.
Soon. Generic soon. Okay. It's in
Generic
development,
soon. It looks
basically.
pretty good. Yeah.
Basically, they're
And it's
saying
probably
it's
going to
in
take a while.
development. Yeah, that makes sense. So we also got, well, actually, no, before we get to that, Frieren Season 3 was announced for 2027. It turns out that episode 10 was the last episode of Season 2. Uh, but it was done to allow the manga to get ahead of the anime because they are very close to the anime.
Oh,
Or
wow.
excuse me, the anime is very close to the manga, and anime season 2 ended at 10 episodes to let the manga get ahead, so that they'll actually have some stuff to adapt. And
Oh my gosh.
they don't really
You
do.
haven't heard that happening with an anime in like god decades.
Yeah, they're not usually this close to each other. And
Mm.
anime doesn't really do filler anymore, so we're just gonna have to wait.
Or to say
uh,
we can't get any free rent filler. I would be into that. I
yeah,
feel like there's a lot of filler that you could make.
you could. Um, but yeah, I prefer this to filler, honestly. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
but because of the long wait, I will likely do what I said I would do after season 1, which is read the
Read the
manga.
manga.
Uh,
Mm.
this time from where season 2 left off. So, which I hear the next arc is like the best arc in the manga. So I'm
Ooh,
very excited for that.
exciting.
But who knows? It comes out next
I
year,
need
so
it.
but who knows? Who
Mm.
knows?
Yeah, who knows? I need to buckle down and actually like either read or watch it.
Gotta watch it. It's
I
good.
keep saying I'm going to watch it. You say I think I'll watch it. I'll watch like the first episode, and if I really really like it, I'll read the manga and then come back. But
So we also got a trailer for Ranma One Half Season 3, or a teaser, I should say. And it seems like this season will be focusing heavily on Ranma fighting Hyoga, and having a training arc leading up to it. And in the trailer, the art style looks different for most of the trailer, but at the very end, it changes back to something more similar to what the first two seasons look like. So hopefully, it's only to help like dramatize that fight scene, and it isn't like a permanent
yeah,
art style change because the art style in Rama One Half, the remake, is so good.
it's so fun.
Very different from what you usually see from Mappa.
Hmm.
Yeah, it comes out this time in October. Very Ranma One Half's been very consistent in its release schedule. And yeah, they've been coming out at a steady rate. You love to see it. We're
Yeah.
returning to the good old days.
Hmm. It does feel like we're in a bit of a renaissance nowadays when it comes to like anime and manga, especially with like releases and whatnot. It's refreshing to see.
Yeah. Next, we got a teaser for Kagurabachi, the anime adaptation, and it looks as good as the manga. Kagurabachi author Takeru Hokozano commented on the anime saying, Rock Lee versus Gaara fight in Naruto? The manga version is great, of course, but isn't the anime version incredibly cool? Well, the very person who brought that scene to life is our director. And that director
Ooh.
is Tetsuya Takeuchi. I also looked up Hokozano's age, and he's my age.
Mhm.
He's 25.
Oh,
Very,
that's crazy.
very young mangaka.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is being animated by Sipik, formerly, Sypic, I should say, because formerly Psy Games Pictures and is under, what is it, Cyber Agent? Is their
Wait.
umbrella
Side
company?
games
Yes.
as is Uma
Yes.
Musume side games? That's
Yes.
crazy. That's
um,
crazy.
they officially became Sypic on April 6th, 2026, this very year, to coincide with their 10th year anniversary. And yeah, like you said, they are under the anime studio. They are the anime studio of Psy Games, the developers behind Umamazume Pretty Derby. Um, they also animated The Summer Hikaru Died, an anime that
Oh.
Bree talked about previously, that I came across on Netflix a few days ago and read the description. It's interesting. It's strange.
Isn't it wild?
It's very wild, and creepy in a lot of ways. It's weird to have the show that's simultaneously creepy and wholesome. I might check it out.
You should. I
But
think you
yeah,
should.
Kagurabachi's coming next year, in April of
Yeah.
2027. Very excited for that.
Yeah, I really have no excuse to not read the manga.
Yeah, the manga was like people was joking about, oh yeah, it's gonna be the next best thing, and then you read it and like, oh, it actually is the next best thing.
Really is, right?
It's so good. And the anime looks like it'll be just as good. The animation in that teaser looked incredible, and hopefully
It does.
the whole show is that quality.
Mm-hmm.
And at its
It's just nuts
core,
to me.
at
Mm-hmm.
at its core, it's a revenge story, but it gets so much deeper later on, and like there's a lot of like complicated political stuff that gets real fun. It like starts off very simple, but it gets more
Mm-hmm.
complicated as the story goes. It's really cool. What
I
were you gonna
love
say?
that. I was gonna say it's just nuts to me that like the same I like the same studio. I know it's an umbrella company, but like just the fact that it's the same studio that did the Uma Musume movies. That's just nuts to me. Like we go from Horse Girls to Kagurabachi, and I think that's fascinating. I think that people should draw the Kagurabachi main character with the Horse Girls. Just a suggestion for the kicks
Hilarious.
and giggles.
Next, we got some breaking news that I saw right before we started recording, which is the announcement of the kind of progress on the One Piece anime remake.
Mm,
It is set to release February of 2027. Um,
that's pretty soon, all things considered.
and it's going to be the East Blue arc, and it's only going to be 7 episodes dropping all at once
Oh,
on Netflix, and that is interesting. How long are these episodes going to
extremely.
be? If they're an hour long, then that makes sense. That's like 14 episodes. That's like a normal season.
Right.
But if they're 30 minutes,
The standard episode length?
if,
That's
if they're 30 minutes, I got questions. It's being animated by what studio? These are the people that animated the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. And they did the first season of Vinland Saga. So good studio. I'm excited. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's only
oh
7 episodes. You don't have any excuses anymore.
yeah. I don't.
You got to watch One Piece
I don't.
when this comes
I
out.
do gotta. Unfortunately, no I'm kidding.
I mean, One Piece is good. It's good stuff.
I've been liking the live action what little I've watched of it, so I'm like maybe I'll like the actual series if I give it a chance.
Sucks that they made everybody pale in the concept art that
Yeah.
they've showed. Um, we know Boy Usopp canonically black now, but in the show he's paler than ever. He's been getting
You
paler
think
and
they wouldn't be able
paler.
to get away with that anymore, given
Yeah,
that he's canonically black in the show?
I
But
miss when anime characters could have tans.
mm-hmm.
Because not even Zoro, he don't even got his tan no more. They're pirates. They're in the sun all the time.
Right.
They shouldn't be so pale. Hopefully, they aren't actually that pale in the show, and it's just the concept.
I hope not. And honestly, now that I think about it, Trigun did the same thing. Not to speak its name, but like they're out in the desert. Why is everybody so pale?
Yeah,
What's
Wolfwood
happening?
had a bit of a tan in the '90s anime.
And then in the original, he was just straight up black. Like if you look at all the like the cover art and stuff, straight up black. What happened? What's
Yeah,
going on? And it's like it's not even just those two. It's a lot of anime
yeah.
that are like whitewashing their black characters. I wonder.
Speaking of weird anime release schedules, we have a confirmation about what's going on with the weird JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7 Still Bar Run release schedule. Uh,
Mhm.
so, Netflix Anime's Twitter posted this statement about the release schedule. They said, "Thank you for all the incredible support for Still Ball Run, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The series is currently in production, which is crazy to say after you release first episode, and
Right?
will
It's
be
like
exactly and will be available for everyone to enjoy. We are planning to split core releases across the entire run of episodes. The next core, second stage, will begin streaming in fall 2026 on Netflix, with one new episode released each week. This release schedule is part of our original plan and reflects the wishes of the production committee. Your passion and enthusiasm mean a great deal to everyone involved in the preparation. We appreciate your patience and continued support as we work to bring you the second stage." Apparently, the production committee are stupid as fuck because who thought this was a good
yeah.
idea?
Right. It's like why did I need a day one patch for my anime? What the fuck?
Like, I'm okay with like a mid-season break, but like
But like it
a
just
first
started.
episode break, and then we get months and months. We have to wait till the fall. It's not even summer yet.
Like for all that, you might as well just fucking waited
They should have just
to
waited.
release the first episode.
They
That's
should
what
have
I
just
would have
waited.
done.
I don't know why they felt that. I think it might have something to do with maybe like the fiscal year or something like that, and they were like, "We got to get this
I
out
see.
to for the investors or some shit."
Before
But like,
mhm.
it's very unfortunate. Like,
It's dumb. It's dumb is what it is.
the only good thing about this is that it gives me more time to catch up on Stone Ocean,
True.
which I
And then
need
you have
to.
to
I need to
watch
keep
and
reading
read
that.
Stone Ocean / J.
I mean, I'm enjoying it. I like
I was
Stone
just say
Ocean.
Stone Ocean.
I know most
It's
people,
funny.
for them, it's like the worst next to like the first two parts.
Mm.
Like I
It's
think
like
people can say the first two parts the worst because they're the most. They're just more boring in comparison. But
mhm.
this is maybe like the third worst to most people. But even the worst JoJo arc is still good.
Right. I was just say it's ironic, right? Because Stone Ocean is what made me drop JoJo, not because I found it boring. Like I really, really like Jolene. I really, really like everything about Stone Ocean conceptually. There is too much going the fuck on, and you know that's saying something for JoJo.
Yeah, it
Like
is like
for parts
the end
three,
of
four, and
like
five.
a universe
Mhm.
technically.
Right. It's like I can suspend my disbelief for 3, 4, and 5. Okay. There's a lot going on in 3, 4, and 5. 6 is just doing too damn much. I couldn't handle it. And I was reading the manga too. This was before the anime came out. I don't. What arc did I stop at? I think it was the one with like the weird white slime. I think I was just like I was checked out at that point. It's like this is too much for me.
Yeah, I gotta lock back into reading the manga so I can catch up to where I left off in the anime. The next we have Blood getting an R-rated animated movie adaptation from Sony. This is coming from Brent Lang at Variety. PlayStation's Bloodborne video game is being developed into an R-rated animated feature for Sony Pictures that studio says will embrace the carnage that made the game so popular. Sanford Pinich, president of Sony Pictures Entertainment Motion Picture Group, promised during the studio's CinemaCon presentation that the long-rumored film will be very true to the gory spirit of Bloodborne, which follows a traveler who journeys into a gothic city full of nightmarish creatures. Bloodborne was developed by From Software, published by Sony, which shares a parent company with Sony Pictures, of course. Um, the film is co-produced by PlayStation Productions, Lyrical Animation, and creator and gamer Sean McLaughlin, aka Jacksepticeye.
Oh,
Uh,
crazy.
for the uninitiated, Jacksepticeye is a gamer who has spent years in the world of Bloodborne, where his digital adventures are tracked by 48 million online fans. Apparently, he's a huge Bloodborne fan, and I did not know that.
I
Um,
didn't know that
I feel like when
either.
he was playing Bloodborne, I wasn't really watching him as much. That would have been what, around like
Yeah.
2014, 15, 16, something like that. Yeah, I guess I just wasn't watching it.
I love. I went to YouTube to go look at like when he released his Bloodborne series. When you look up Jacksepticeye,
Yeah,
it's the
he made a
second thing that
video.
comes up.
Yeah, he made a video like talking about this, and yeah, I'm sure he has a lot of videos of him playing it. So yeah, I didn't. Apparently, he's just a huge Bloodborne fan. I don't know how I somehow missed that, but yeah, that's exciting.
According to him, it's his favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I'm curious what studio's animating it. Is it going to be Sony Pictures Animation?
That's
Because if
interesting.
that's the case, I'm very excited. That's Spider Verse. That's the
Mm-hmm.
Metro versus Machines. That's K-pop
Machines.
Demon
I
Hunters.
forgot all about that movie. That movie's so
I
good.
haven't watched that movie. I gotta check it out.
It's really good. I can't recommend it enough.
But yeah, those are the big dogs. F it's
Yeah,
them.
it's
F
big
it's
though.
them. It might not be them though.
I hope it's them. I hope it's them.
I hope it's them too.
It would. It would make the most sense for it to be them. But also, Sony, if we can do Bloodborne movie, right? If we can do Bloodborne movie, where's my Bloodborne remake? My Bloodborne remaster. If we have the budget to do Bloodborne movie,
Here's the thing.
right?
I think if they do a Bloodborne movie, they're gonna remaster the game because
I hope
they
so.
probably don't want to miss out on that money. You get the movie and the
Right.
game coming out around the same time.
And like throw money at my console for a Bloodborne
Yeah.
remake.
But speaking of Sony Pictures Animation, actually, not specifically that studio, but just Sony Pictures in general, rumor has it that a Metroid movie is in development by Nintendo, and that Sony and Universal are in a close race to win the rights.
Interesting.
A lot of people are arguing whether or not it should be live action or animated, and I think you know what side of the fence I'm on. This movie should 100% be animated, and
Yeah, like a live action would feel like Metroid. What's that one Metroid game where it's like first person and really realistic and everybody hates it? It's like for the GameCube. I want to say.
I mean, people like Metroid Prime. I
I like you.
think you're thinking about Other M, which is that one was third person,
Yep.
and people
Other
hated
end is
that
what I'm
one.
thinking
Yeah,
of.
that one was third person, which I really want a third person, like over the shoulder camera Metroid game, but good. That's not Other M. Where they
Yeah.
just had Samus talk way too much. It was weird. But
The baby.
this movie, like I said, should be 100% animated. And if it's going to be animated, it should go to the team behind Spider Verse, K-pop
I
Demon
agree.
Hunters, and Mitchell vs. Machines, like I said before. But it should be directed by Gendy Tartakovsky of Samurai Jack and Primal fame, because he does that like eerie silence better than anybody else. Like storytelling through very minimal dialogue, he does it the
Mm-hmm.
best. And he's worked with Sony
Mm-hmm.
Pictures before on, or maybe that was Universal, one of the two. Either way, it should be him directing it, and it should be animated.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Sony or Universal who produces. I'm not forgetting the name of those movies. Those vampire kids movies.
Hotel Transylvania. That's
Yes, Hotel
Universal.
Transylvania. Yeah, that's Universal. Either way, he should direct it. um,
Yeah.
and yeah, now could Metroid work in live action? Of course, but why should it? What can live
Right.
action do that animation can't for Metroid specifically? The
Mm-hmm.
world and creatures of Metroid would be just far better suited to being adapted faithfully in
Because
animation.
they're not gonna play it full horror. If they play it full horror, I would totally be okay with it being live action. Right? That would actually go crazy.
Now that's the thing though. People
But
want it to be live action because they think that horror can only be done in live action. But here's the thing. Metroid isn't just horror, okay? It's a lot of action. So it would have to be more like Aliens, the second Alien movie, which is a blend between action and horror.
right.
And like yeah, I think a lot of people they just have a very narrow lens of what horror is. If it's not jump scares, gore, and just like unending tension, then it's not horror to the average person. So Metroid for them needs to be realistic and it needs to be R rated to be scary to them. But little do most people know, movies like Insidious are PG-13. You can do horror
Mm-hmm.
without it being gory and violent, and it can be PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
Horror can still be done without an R rating. Plus, horror isn't just scary things. It's an aesthetic that exists beyond fear. Talking about
Mm-hmm.
Bloodborne is gothic horror. And
Yeah, like like I think what a lot of people don't realize is like there's a difference between like horror and terror. you know, it's like a good piece of horror movie like media should like I'm trying to think about how to explain where my brain is at. It's like it shouldn't just terrify me, like actively in the moment I'm being scared, but it should stick with me and horrify me in the long run.
Yeah, to be
You know what I'm saying?
horrified and terrified are two different things.
Exactly.
Like unease and almost what's the word I'm looking for? I had it in my notes at one point and I had deleted it. Like just being uncomfortable in some type of way is just
Unsettled.
unsettled is a good word. Like it's what horror does, but being terrorized is different.
Right.
And like yeah, like you can still make horror for a younger audience, and at the end of the day, Metroid wouldn't just be unending terror. it would have a lot of
Right.
action in it as well. You know, in conclusion, there is a way to make an animated Metroid movie with horror elements that is still appropriate for kids. And if you think that Nintendo wouldn't even want their movies like gated to just teenagers, most Metroid games are rated T for teen in America.
They are? They are?
Yes. So it's already a regular thing that Metroid
Right.
is rated for teens. So making a PG-13 Metroid movie makes all the sense in the world.
And it honestly would make sense for them to hit their teen market now because it's like, a lot of I find that a lot of like, Nintendo still has their like classics for family, but a lot more Nintendo games than a lot of people realize lean T for teen or up.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun for them to like, lean into that a little more and kind of appeal to that audience.
Next we have Devil May Cry Season 2. And people are hating, but I think it looks good. Did you manage to check out the trailer?
I did check out the trailer and it does look pretty good.
You know, my thing with adaptations is that I almost never want the game story to be one for one. One for one anime adapted, I mean. Not even
Right.
for some of my favorite games like Metal Gear. I wouldn't want it to be one to one. Because if I wanted the story, I'd just play the game. If I wanted that exact same story, I would just play the games. The only thing that I need is for the characters and the world to be true to the source material. And from there, you can kind of do whatever you want as long as it's fun. The only thing that, like, how do I put it? The like lady is an exception in this show, where lady is not how she is in the games, and that I did not like about season one. Otherwise, Dante was great. I think the world was cool, and the action was fun, and the story didn't need to follow any specific game. And let's be real, Devil May Cry stories, it's not like they're that good to begin with. They're fun, and I think the best story is for sure in the third game. But other than that, it's like the story of Devil May Cry is kind of whatever. So I think for me there's a lot of room for interpretation when it comes to adapting Devil May Cry, and it seems like the second season is leaning more towards some of the stuff from Devil May Cry 3. And on top of it all, that the animation is just sick as hell. It looks good. It's animated very well. I know that you were lukewarm on the first season. Does this trailer excite you in any way?
A little bit. It's convincing me to give the first season another shot, and then see if I'll enjoy the second season as well. Maybe I need to look at it with fresh eyes.
Yeah, this is coming very soon, May 12th. So
Yeah.
in our next animation episode, a month from now, we'll be talking about the full season because they'll release it all at once. But yeah, next we have The Legend of Vox Machina Season 4. It seems like this season will be focusing heavily on the party facing off against a death cult at the behest of the god of death that imbues Vex's armor with power. And this show just continues to get better and better with each season. So I'm very excited for this one. Are you caught up?
I'm not caught up, but I did watch the trailer. Maybe there's spoilers. I wouldn't know personally. And I have to say, I kind of fell off of Vox Machina after season 3. I don't know why. It just I started watching it and never finished it because just something about it. Couldn't get into it. This is making me want to go back and watch season 3 so I can get ready for season 4 because I'm extremely interested. They've got me again.
Have you
the
watched?
Bug has bitten me.
Have you watched Mighty Nine?
I have not watched 99.
Gotta watch Mighty
Besides
Nine.
the first episode.
It's real
I
good.
know. There's so much. I think the thing that makes Vox Machina hard for me is that I run my own campaign, right? So it's I'm while I'm watching it, it's like I'm trying to watch it and enjoy it, but in my head I'm thinking like a DM, like, oh, I can see how these moments happened and how we got here. But then also like it gives me my ideas for my own campaign, and it's like I don't want to watch it with DM brain. I need to watch it with DM brain turned off. You know?
Yeah. I Legend of Vox Machina was the thing that got me interested in actually playing D&D. I still haven't yet. And then it was from there I watched at the time, I think it was within the same year, but I think it was after I watched Vox Machina, I watched a season of Dimension 20 on Dropout. It was Never After. It was this season surrounding um like fairy tales and the Brother Grimm story. It was really cool. And I'm currently watching their current season, which is they're playing Vampire the Masquerade, and that's cool.
Ooh,
Um,
that is really cool.
and yeah, Vox Machina has just got me way more interested in D&D. I've started watching Critical Role with their most recent campaign, and I am way behind. I need to catch up, honestly. Because at one point I was way behind and then caught up, and now I'm way behind again. I gotta catch back up. I think it's because so they're doing something really fun with this season where Matt Mercer isn't DMing. It's Brennan Lee Mulligan from Dimension 20. And
Oh, that's fun.
that's part of the reason why I decided to finally watch it. On top of the fact that it's a new campaign, so there's nothing for me to be behind on or have to catch up on. I could just start fresh, and uh, it's a much larger table where it's everybody plus more, and they're splitting it into essentially, in a lot of ways, three different campaigns. There's three different groups of four. And it's very interesting. And unfortunately, the second group of four, I'm not as interested in as the first one,
Dang.
or the one that's coming up after them, which I'm really excited to get to. Like they're not bad. It's Matt Mercer's in that group. I can't remember her first name, but Liongard is her last name. Abria Liongard. And I can't remember her name at the moment, but the woman who voices Ellie in The Last of Us, Ashley Johnson. And the last person I can't remember his name because I didn't know who he was before Dimension 20. But no disrespect to him, I just can't remember his name. He's cool though. I do like his character. And yeah, unfortunately, he's just the least interesting so far. But I'll get around to it. It's not uninteresting. It's just not
as interesting.
Yeah. So I just gotta lock
that
in so I can get through it and get to the next part. But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. But away from that little D&D tangent. Last, in terms of trailers and news, before we get into some reviews, we got a big one. We have The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender movie leaking online, which was crazy. The Legend of Aang movie unfortunately leaked in its entirety before its October 9th release date on Paramount Plus. And I saw some clips, and it looks fire. But I don't
really good.
plan on watching.
I've been trying to avoid them.
Yeah, I don't plan on watching the full leaked version of the movie for multiple reasons. One, I'm not as apt at pirating movies as I was when I was a kid, so I don't want to catch a virus. Two,
right, and especially in these treacherous trenches we live in.
Chances are this isn't the final product, so there may be some quality issues. And I'm also hoping, lastly, that this results in them releasing the film in theaters because they are now going to lose out on a lot of subscriptions to Paramount Plus because people aren't going to want to subscribe to Paramount Plus to watch it anymore because they can just pirate.
Right, exactly.
So I'm holding out hope for that. But before I start kind of getting some quotes from people who work in the industry about the situation, what do you think? And if you saw anything, what did you think about what you saw?
So I think that it is a terrible tragedy that it leaked so early. That being said, I have only seen character designs and I think a 3-second clip. That's it. I've been avoiding everything else about it because I want to actually watch the movie when it actually comes out and support the official release, blah, blah, blah. It looks so good. And I am so excited.
I saw some of that fight animation and it is crazy.
There's this like a little kid again.
This this scene of Toph training a bunch of earthbenders and metal bending that it is so good, and I'm like, I
Tough.
need this in theaters now.
Hmm. It's like
And
I
in terms of
I can't wait
character
to watch it again.
designs,
It's amazing.
yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
In terms of character designs, a lot of people talking about how hot they made Suka.
Listen, can can we talk about it though? Let's keep it a buck, okay?
I mean, it's true.
Like honestly, the entirety of Team Avatar is low key kind of hot,
For
and I'm
sure.
I'm, I'm concerned because it's like, where'd this come from?
Out of nowhere.
Concerned in a good way, of course,
Yeah.
but
I'm
they're good
curious,
at it.
because I don't, like I said, I'm avoiding most of it. I'm curious what other characters we'll see. I hear that unfortunately Suki doesn't show up till the very end, and everybody forgets that she's a part of the
Boo.
team. So it's like, that
I
sucks.
love Suki around here. That does suck.
But yeah, I'm afraid of what this could mean for the future of Avatar. Um,
Hmm.
Asher VT on Twitter, I think put a certain aspect of this very aptly. But I do have something else that kind of like talks about the opposite of that. But let me read this first. They said, I have so many mixed feelings about this. As an animator who worked tirelessly on some productions that received an underwhelming official release, I can understand how frustrating it might be to see links and uploads of something you worked on circulating around like free candy. That said, the Avatar movie will not be receiving a theatrical release. In fact, it's delayed until later this year to be released for only streaming. They have released no teaser or trailer for this film yet. Why? No idea. It's beyond disappointing how they insist on locking a film this level of production quality behind a platform that very few people use to begin with. Between choosing to
Right,
respect. Yeah, go ahead.
and then on top of that, it's like, Avatar is one of the most prolific, like, like with the audience they're trying to hit, and you're not advertising it at all. Preposterous. It's like they want this to fail.
Between choosing to respect the creatives by waiting 6 months, a performative effort because the artists have already been paid, or refuse to support a streaming service owned by a $1 billion company that donates money to Trump and Israel, I don't blame people for choosing to watch the leaked movie. I wouldn't support Paramount either. I truly hope this doesn't negatively impact current or future Avatar Studios productions. But honestly, the way they were disrespecting the franchise by delaying the promotion and release of this film showed how little they cared about it to begin with. Like they said, the artists already got paid, and I don't want to have to pay for the MAGA streaming service to watch it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that this colossal accident results in them releasing it in theaters. Otherwise, I might sail the high seas, but hopefully I don't have to.
Yep.
Like I said, the reason I don't pirate like I did when I was a kid is mostly because I can afford things now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but also, like I said, don't want to get a virus, so hopefully it doesn't come down to that.
I hope not either.
On the flip side, though, Matt Braley, creative Amphibia, in response to a tweet saying, "What also sucks is people are saying the animators got paid." An excuse to pirate the leak, even though, let me read that again because they wrote that weird. What also sucks is people are saying the animators got paid as an excuse to pirate the leak, even though animators are sometimes paid unfairly. And Braley said in response to that, don't even engage with that bad faith take. It's not worth your time. People make art as a form of expression, and how it is seen/viewed is an incredibly important part of creative catharsis. Film is a way to speak to an audience. It's not just hot dogs to scarf down whenever. And I agree. Uh,
For
you know,
sure.
they're not condemning people for pirating a film, but instead saying that, trying to justify it with the artist got paid. Like that's all artists get out of making art. Like they said, it's bad faith, and artists also want their work to be released on their own terms. That's part of the art.
Mm. Right. It's a part of artistic integrity.
Exactly. So, it sucks that this happened, but they should have months ago. Like last year, we should have got a teaser. And at some point already this year, we should have like two trailers. Honestly, we should have had a teaser by now and have it like an actual official trailer coming up. Like if this movie is 6 months away and we still have nothing except this leak, no wonder it got leaked. What's going on over there?
Right.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody over there leaked it on purpose, because it seems like they're not being treated with respect, and somebody might have done it on purpose because they know that they're being
Yeah.
sent out to pasture. But moving on to some reviews, starting with Dorohedoro. Dorohedoro season 2 premiered with 3 episodes on April 1st. It wasn't a joke. Um, and has been releasing 1 episode a week since. And they're on episode 6 as of recording. But I have only seen the first episode. I watched episode 1 and very quickly realized I don't remember shit from the first season, despite the fact that I watched it twice. So I decided to rewatch it again, which I would have done in anticipation, but it kind of just snuck up on me. But honestly, I've been slacking on that because, like I said, this came out April 1st. It is May 5th.
Oh yeah, that's a whole month.
I had a whole month to catch up, and I still didn't. But that was on me. I could have caught up if I wanted to, but I'm locked in now. I'm locked in, and I'm gonna catch up. So I'll be able to talk about it probably the whole season next episode. Both the first and second, because I'm rewatching the first, and the art style of the show is so incredible, and it's one of the best CG anime out. And they blend it with 2D so well that sometimes you forget that it's 3D. And the 1 episode I watched of season 2, it continues to look just as good. And season 1 looks incredible, still holds up. It's animated by Mappa. And they've only gotten better in the years since the first season, which was like early pandemic. So I'm very excited to catch up. And I really hope that this season gets enough viewership to greenlight a season 3, and however more many more seasons are necessary to fully finish the story. Are you interested in Dorohedoro in any way, or have you ever
I
watched
actually started watching it.
Yeah, okay.
I watched like I want to say the first 4 episodes of season 1. And really, really liked them. I don't know what.
I hope there's season 4.
Right.
It might not need 4 seasons because I've read the entirety of the manga, so it's kind of short. It might only be 3 seasons.
Okay. I was gonna say, because I started watching it. I forgot what exactly made me stop. I think I didn't have the time to finish it, and I wanted to binge watch it in one sitting because I was really enjoying it, and then I just never picked it back up when I got the time. But Dorohedoro every once in a while. I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. Very
very fun.
Very fun, like magic system where they their magic is performed through using smoke that comes out of their bodies, and they're like it gets biological, which is really cool. And really the actual world itself, there's multiple kind of dimensions almost, and
I remember that.
Yeah, it's just a very interesting world and power system, and the characters are really fun.
I think where I left off at is when they introduced I'm gonna butcher her name because I don't remember it. Big buff white-haired lady who I'm madly in love with. Yes, they introduced her last I watched, and she was the whole reason I started watching it. So
very in love with Noe.
But I had another point to make, and I can't remember what it was, so never mind. Oh, I think the thing that really, really made me enjoy Dorohedoro is that all the characters are super enjoyable. Like, villain, hero, whatever. They're all really
they're all fun. Really fun. Like, even the characters that are considered villains aren't even really villains. Like, N is the worst character, but even he doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. He's a really fun character. I also watched on May 2nd, which I have in my notes yesterday as recording, but we're recording a little later. So a couple days ago as we're recording, My Hero More came out on Crunchyroll. And it was a 30-minute additional episode of the latest season of My Hero Academia. And it adapts a chapter released in a final volume of the manga that I didn't know existed, because I only read the manga. So this was actually the first episode of My Hero Academia I've ever watched. I've legitimately never watched an episode of this show. I've only read the manga. And I like the manga, the ending, people have mixed feelings about it. I thought it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad by any means. The time skip ending, like the very, very ending, at the ending, there's an 8-year time skip in it. It gets a little bit into what the characters are up to, after the events of the show. And I thought it was fun. Some people kind of didn't like it because of some stuff with Deku that I thought was just some bad faith opinions, if I'm being honest. And this is picks up after that, and it was really cool. It follows the UA Class 1A reunion in celebration of Todoroki becoming the number 2 hero in Japan, and it was a very heartwarming episode and fun to learn what all the characters have been up to in those 10 years. And it ends with Deku and Ochaka um, just barely beginning to actually pursue their feelings for each other, which that was like a big part of her character throughout the entirety of the series, arguably to a detriment. um, very much like a Hinata and Naruto almost. Though she had her own agency and cool stuff that she did beyond like having a
Deku. That's
relationship with
good.
Deku, unlike Hinata. But that definitely was a big part of her character. But it unfortunately didn't go anywhere in the show proper. But it somewhat goes somewhere in this. Like literally at the end of the episode, they both are basically they not they claim, but they do enjoy their work, but they're kind of focusing too much on their work, and all of their friends are like Bakugo is telling Deku, you can't just be working, bro. You got to do stuff outside of work, and Suyu is telling Ochaka, you have to have a life outside of work. Like work can't be your life. And then at the end, they both kind of realize you're right, and then they kind of like run back towards each other after they split up from the like party, and like
Mhm.
the romance sparks, and I'm like, that's nice. That felt good, and it made me go, give me more. I personally wouldn't be mad at a sequel of My Hero Academia that's just a slice of life, especially after I you don't watch My Hero, do you?
No,
But like,
I watched like one episode years ago.
I'm sure you've heard of like just the trauma all of these
No boy,
characters
have
go
I.
through. So I'm like, after all that trauma, I don't want a series that continues that trauma. I want slice of life. I want them just living their
Mm,
best lives after
mm.
the events of the war that happened at the end of the series.
And aren't they
Um,
all in like really young kids, like just getting into high school age?
they were like, yeah, like middle school age when it started, I think, or like I
Woof.
think it was like early high school, so they were probably around like 14, 15. Like just get like graduating middle school.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think yeah, because yeah, UA is a high school. So yeah, they were literally first years in high school, and I think what high school in Japan's 3 years. So yeah, they're probably like 15, or 16. So yeah, this is 8 years after that, so they're in their like early mid 20s. And yeah, I'd love a slice of life that just found them in their 20s, just being living their lives like Deku. Spoiler alert for the series for those that care or haven't watched it. Deku is a teacher at UA, but
Oh, cute.
also so you don't care about any more spoilers because I'm gonna give a bigger spoiler.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
say I
at the very
know
end.
everything that happens pretty
Okay,
much.
okay, good. At the very end of the series, he loses his powers because he wasn't born with a quirk. He gets it from All Might, but at the very end he loses it. So instead, he basically becomes Iron Man, where he has a suit of armor that gives him all of the powers that he lost. So he's still able to be a hero and teach at UA, um,
I love that.
and that's cool. And I would imagine this slice of life would have a similar kind of like action to slice of life balance as something like Spy Family, where Spy Family has action, and when it has action, the action is really good. But it's like 60-40. 60% like slice of life and comedy, and like 40% action and drama. That's the kind of like
Right.
the balance I would want. Because I would still want action. I would still want them to, fight crime and stuff. And I would still want there to be drama. Like I'd want them to tackle the trauma of what happened and like them going to therapy and stuff like that. Because they mention it in this episode about how Todoroki talks about how he got therapy. And I'm like, good. He
Good.
you need therapy
If
after
anybody
what
needs
his father did.
therapy, yeah.
um and like yeah, I it would also scratch that itch that I have for a shonen anime that stars adults around our age. I want that so desperately.
Mm-hmm.
And
Real bad.
yeah, I think this is one of the few shonen anime other than I guess Bleach, but that doesn't count because it's my favorite anime. Where
Right.
I actually want a sequel. Like
Mm.
things like Naruto, I'm like, I didn't need Boruto. But My Hero, I'm like, low key, I want more. And earlier today, actually, they announced that another like OVA type thing is coming out. Called I Am a Hero 2, which will be coming out pretty soon, actually, this summer in 2026, focusing on teenage Eri in high school. And it is also set in the same time, 8 years after the main series concludes. And Eri is a character in the series she's a young child who gets kidnapped and has her quirk, which can I believe heal people. like exploited by one of the villains, and then she gets essentially adopted by the school, and they take care of her, and now she's a this will follow her as a teenager. Going to I think she's going to UA. And Deku's of course like a big brother figure to her, and he's teaching at the school, so that would be fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like, bro, at this point, just continue the series.
Right.
I know they're going to. There's no way they're not going to.
They're probably going to.
And I want them to.
I hope so for your sake.
And then I can actually watch the anime because I just didn't do that. Next we have Daemons of the Shadow Realm. I randomly started watching this because it popped up in my suggested on Crunchyroll, and I very coincidentally heard about this, but I didn't know that it was this. I was watching a clip from a RDC stream, and they mentioned that the creator of Full Metal Alchemist had another anime out, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I kind of just forgot. And then I randomly opened Crunchyroll, saw this, and recognized the art style as Hiromu Arakawa's art style, the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. And I was like, hold on now, let me check this out. And this must have been what they were talking about in that clip I saw earlier. And then I just watched first episode because I was like, I got to. Because Full Metal Alchemist is incredible. Well, before I watched it, I think I looked it up because she worked on something else that was on Netflix that was like, she did character design but didn't write it, and I didn't like it. So I was like, let me see if she actually writes this one. And she does, because it's based off of her most recent manga from a few years ago. Like early pandemic, this manga started publication. Wow. And yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. The premise of the show is, and this is from the Crunchyroll description, and it leaves out a lot. Yoru, a young hunter who lives in a small village deep in the mountains, hunts wild game, and leads a humble life with Asa, his younger twin sister. Their peaceful lives are torn apart when a dragon's roar echoes across the sky. What secrets lurk within their village? What fate awaits them? Enter a breathtaking mystical fantasy as exciting daemon battles intertwine the mysterious and supernatural. That makes the show sound like it's something that is not low-key, because this is super vague. That description is vague as hell.
Like extremely.
And it's because they're hiding a twist that happens in the first episode. Now, do you want to know, or will you watch?
I don't want to know, because I actually do kind of want to watch this.
Okay, we'll talk about it next time, because it's like, yeah, that's vague as hell. Because like you truly can't talk about the show without talking about the twist that happens in the first episode. So you just have to watch it.
Ooh, I love shows like that where it's like you can't talk about it other than like very, very base. Ooh,
like the summer Hikaru died.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna watch it.
Okay. Well, next for me, I have Maul Shadow Lord. We're recording this a few days later than scheduled, but that timing actually worked in our favor because the last 2 episodes of Maul released last night on May the 4th.
Clever.
So I've completed the entire series in anticipation for this episode, and man, Maul Shadow Lord is so good. I've been watching it week to week. They release 2 episodes a week, and it is awesome. For those that don't know, Maul Shadow Lord follows the former Sith Lord plotting to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire after the Clone Wars. It also follows Captain Brander Lawson, a detective on Janix, who's voiced by Wagner Mora, who voiced Death in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and Jedi Padawan Gideon Adlon and her master Daki. And the show primarily presents itself as like a crime thriller set within the Star Wars universe, and I think that does wonders for the story.
I was gonna say, that sounds fascinating.
The best Star Wars projects in recent times have been the ones that firmly place themselves within a specific genre, like Andor and the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. This series is in the Clone Wars art style, which has only gotten better and better over the years. And Maul, the Maul is that art style at its best and most different, funnily enough. They're using these really cool oil painting backgrounds. Ooh. And they also put the oil painting effect over like out of focus parts of certain shots.
Oh, that's clever.
And it looks cool as hell. I actually didn't notice that they were doing it for the out of focus parts until like the second to last episode, where it was focusing on 2 characters in the foreground speaking, and then it did like a split focus and like focused in on Maul in the background. And it was that blurry like oil painting effect, and then it went into like a clear, CG animated effect. And I was like, whoa, that was cool as hell. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's the most beautiful this art style has been, and I couldn't recommend this show more. And you do not need any prior knowledge to enjoy it. It's really good.
Ooh, noted.
Now, do you care about spoilers?
Not really.
Because I just want to spoil low key the very end, which is the biggest spoilers possible. So, spoiler alert for Maul Shadow Lord. I'm going to spoil the very end, and it's like the biggest spoiler in the world. So again, spoiler alert for Maul Shadow Lord. Get out of here if you don't want to get spoiled. Skip ahead. We use timestamps, so you can just click the next timestamp to Invincible. So at the end of episode 9, Maul and his remaining crew, Captain Brander and his son, and Gideon and Daki are about to escape Janix, when one of the people Maul sends ahead to scout comes back screaming before being force pulled back into the fog and screaming in agony before we hear that iconic breathing. And Darth Vader appears from the smoke and ignites his lightsaber. Oh my God, you don't understand the feelings
fucking aura
that surged through me. I was like, it was so obvious it was going to happen because they were being chased by Inquisitors. Inquisitors are like Jedi hunters, killing off the remaining Jedis that survived Order 66. And they're made up of former Jedi that were trained by Vader to hunt down other Jedi. And they said after Maul and the rest of the crew escaped them, they said, radio ahead, they're heading his way. And I was like, who else would it be other than their master, Darth Vader? Right. So it was clear it was going to happen, but it was so fire. And the following episode, the finale, episode 10, was just all aura and hype moments.
I love that.
As we have Vader taking on 3 people at once as they try to run away. And this man burst through a wall like he was fucking Nemesis from Resident Evil 3.
That's so funny.
And then in another shot, he just popped out of nowhere from around the corner like he was goddamn Michael Myers. He was just
I love that.
A horror villain the entire time. He was just terrifying. And it was awesome. And nobody stood a chance. Oh, it was so good. This show's so good. And they just ended it perfectly. Oh, man.
Nice.
You gotta watch the show. It's really good. But before we get into our very last thing, I will talk very briefly about Invincible Season 4. It's over. The 8 episodes are finished. And they clearly saved the budget for the penultimate episode. Because that shit was gas. People have been calling the big bad of the series Thrag a fraud. Because he hadn't done anything for a majority of the season. But in episode 7, he proved his worth by beating the dog shit out of everyone in beautifully animated glory.
We love that.
But speaking of the animation quality, it was revealed by a compositor on the series that they are one of only 4 other compositors, or 3 other compositors. They're one of 4. For those that don't know, compositing in animation is the post-production process of taking separate elements such as backgrounds, characters, and effects, and combining them into a cohesive whole and refining certain parts of them to make them all fit together. And only 4 compositors is insane.
That is nuts.
For one of Amazon's biggest shows.
Right. With such a high budget, and I don't know, that's just odd to me.
And there have been a bunch of fan edits enhancing the lighting and composition to make the show look a bit better. And it honestly goes a long way, and that alone would help enhance it in a lot of ways. I understand animation is a very complicated process and time-consuming, and with a yearly schedule that they're trying to go with now, I understand that quality is hard to come by. There's that triangle of you can get things done good, fast, or cheap. Yeah, good, fast, or cheap. And it can only be 2 of those. It can't be all 3. Mm-hmm. And this is fast and cheap.
Yep.
Yep. And animation it's tough. But shows like The Legend of Vox Machina have managed a similar schedule, but their animation has only gotten better. So I know there's a way, and I hope that they figure it out. because I know
Yeah.
they don't want it to be like this. I
Of
know they
course.
want it to be better, and I hope that they figure it out. Because Kirkman says that well, first off, season 5 has finished voice recording. So they're sticking to that schedule of yearly. And creator of the series, Robert Kirkman, says that he wants to go for 9 seasons. And according to
Oh.
a post made by Ryan Otley, the main artist on the comic, he kind of put a bookmark in the 3 omnibuses about like to show like where we are in the story so far, and we're about halfway through. So about
Oh,
4 or 5 more seasons makes sense.
dope.
So like yeah, I hope within that time they just figure it out. At the very least, I wouldn't be mad if one day we just got like a Invincible Kai, like Dragon Ball Z Kai, where they just, but not like Dragon
Ooh.
Ball Z Kai, because Dragon Ball Z Kai I think was mostly reanimated. For this, I would think they should just recomposite things and like take what's already there and build on top of it versus just doing like a full remake. I think that's unnecessary. Just build on top of what's already there, and in some very specific cases, do completely new animation to help enhance certain moments. I think that could be cool if they did that in the future. Because by the time this ends,
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's gonna be extremely successful. Um, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but I think Invincible has one of the most satisfying endings of any comic I've ever read. Of any, not even comic. I think it has the most satisfying ending of any story I've ever interacted with. Period. And I think
Ooh.
it's gonna be a cause for a lot of very interesting discussions. Invincible is really good, and there is room for a continuation if Robert Kirkman wants to. And I wouldn't be
Ooh.
surprised if
Mm-hmm.
they do continue it because, like I said, this
Mm-hmm.
is really successful. And I'd love to see that. And if they do that, hopefully the animation gets better. Uh,
I hope so too.
but yeah, other than that, though, the story is awesome. The changes they make to the story has been great and only enhance it. And the animation's not the worst thing in the world. Like, as much as people like to pretend otherwise, it's not. There's worse. And
Mm-hmm.
the story like makes you want to keep watching it despite the mediocre animation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good finale. But last,
It sounds like it.
but certainly not least, we are going to talk about Witch Hat Atelier. We are
Yeah.
6 episodes in, and
Mm. Now, disclaimer, not caught up.
not caught up.
I've watched the first 4.
Mm.
I have not watched 5 and 6 yet.
That's unfortunate. 5 was
Yeah.
awesome.
I know. I heard good things about 5, and
Episode
I
5 was so
know,
good.
having read them, having no,
So you
having
basically
read the
watched
manga, I know.
you watched all the episodes that cover the first volume.
Yep, basically.
Because for the most part, like the first episode was the first chapter. Because what I did was
Yeah.
after or before starting with episode 2, I think I would read a chapter. So I was reading every chapter the week after that the episode came out, and it wasn't until
Smart.
episode like 2, 3, 4 kind of like blends things. I think episode 2 is mostly chapter 2 of the manga, but then like
Mm-hmm.
3 and 4 start to mix like
It gets muddy.
3
Yeah.
chapters into 2 episodes. But for the most part, it is essentially a chapter and episode, which kind of makes it easy to plot out where it's going to go. Because I've had to,
Mm-hmm.
I want to guess it's going to be 13 episodes, but I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah, that would make sense.
if it was 26, because sometimes they still do 26 episodes for the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, were
I
you
feel
going
like
to
it
say?
depends on what marker they're trying to hit, like what story beat they're trying to hit. Because there's good places to stop for a season along the way.
Okay, yeah, it'll be 13. That makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's animated by
Um.
Bug Films,
Mm-hmm.
which did I write what else they worked on? I don't think I did. Well, I think we talked about it before. They worked on
I believe so.
Zom 100.
Yeah.
Is the thing that I most know them for. But I'll look up something else while you talk about what you're gonna say.
I forgot. Fuck. TLDR. I really, 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 really am enjoying this. And everything about it. Like, it is one of, if not the most like faithful and beautiful adaptations I've seen in recent memory. And with such a complex manga behind it, I was a little concerned that that it will fall flat a little bit, not by virtue of the studio not trying hard enough, but just because Witch Hat Atelier's world is so like rich and deep even from the beginning. But like they're doing like I can almost see the panels that they're adapting, like in the actual animation itself, and I have not
Yeah,
gotten that in an adaptation in like
it's
I
awesome.
can't tell you how many years it's been.
And I,
Um,
when I was because I watched it before I started reading it, like I said.
mhm.
So when I saw the like storybook things they were doing, like pop up books, I was like, oh, that's cool. Do they even do that in a manga? And then I read the manga, and I was like, oh, they do this in a manga.
They do. They
And
do.
I can't even begin to understand. Like, I mean, I'm sure if I sit down and analyze it, I could figure it out. But it's like I have to rack my brain to be like, how did they do that? How did they animate
Right.
that? That's
Right.
crazy.
Right. I find myself being like awed and amazed by the technique of it more than anything. And I think that's a really really beautiful thing, especially considering what Witch Hat Atelier is about. It's like the art, like how it lets the artistry of the manga and the anime shine, and that in turn like allows the vehicle of the story to be carried along like
Yeah.
further and more cohesively.
I should have wrote this down, but I saw on Twitter somebody kind of shared a bit of information about like the inspiration for the manga itself from the creator, about how like it was about kind of how like drawing can feel like magic,
Hmm.
and like
Right.
how the like just art itself can feel like magic and creating something from nothing, and that inspired them to make this magic system for this manga.
That's Shirohama. But I don't know. I'm so glad that I wasn't disappointed, A. But then also like B, that it's really, really good. It's so good, right? That it's getting my girlfriend to read the manga.
Yeah, I also love.
She already kind of wanted to get into it, but like the anime was the turning point for her.
Yeah, I also love these anime that are taking these very Western kind of worlds. Like this is a
Mm-hmm.
very Western fantasy
For
inspired series,
sure.
but seeing how they incorporate Japanese aspects, like aspects of Japanese culture into it, is very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It
how,
is.
um, I mean, it's a spoiler. There's just a scene in the most recent episode where they're drinking, and they're drinking from like like those flat cups that
Mm-hmm.
like sake cups,
Yeah.
but like oversized versions of them. And I'm like, that's not what they'd be using, like gigantic wooden mugs if this was you know
Right.
um
Tankards and shit.
like Game of Thrones or like Lord of the Rings. But because this is made by a Japanese person, that's the container of choice that they choose to drink from, which is really
Right.
fun. And it's
It
interesting to
is.
see how it's mostly very kind of
Like
accurate to
what.
that style of fantasy, but then there's
Mhm.
certain like Japanese qualities to it that make it really interesting.
Mhm. Witch Hat Atelier does what I call the Avatar thing, where it's like grounded in a reality that we recognize, but with unrecognizable elements. So, like, you have your gopher bears and shit like that in Avatar, and then Witch Hat has, it's mystical animals, but it's like they're recognizable. Like, if I lived in this world, I could probably point that thing out. I would know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but talking more about the animation, the scene. Well, at this point, we kind of gotten our initial like thoughts out of the way, so we're gonna get into spoilers. Nothing
Yippee!
like major necessarily, but like if you just want to go in completely spoiler free, don't watch this. This is the end of the episode. Leave. Come back after you watch it. Uh,
Right. You can like, comment, and no, I'm
yeah.
kidding.
I mean, yes, please do that. But
Yes, please.
come back and watch this after you watch it. But
Mhm.
yeah, the scene where he saves Coco from
Oh my gosh. I
the
listen,
forbidden magic
chills.
was so good. Like seeing that
Chills.
animated and then reading it and going like it also, like you said, it's very faithful. Like it'll be
Extremely.
a bunch of awesome animation and like in that scene, I think they did like a full 360 camera at one point, which was crazy.
I believe so, yes.
But and it was a one shot, but like it
Mhm.
followed him grabbing her to pulling her out, and it was no, there were no cuts. It was crazy.
Right?
But then at like they will like pause at keyframes from the moment that it's done in the manga, and it's so good. Um, but
As
also
a mhm.
I forgot how incredible the magic system is because I didn't
Oh my
remember
god.
100% how it worked. Because
Mhm.
I hadn't read it in a while, and yeah, it's so good.
And the way they explain it is like I love that it kind of I like the framing of it being in an atelier and Coco being an apprentice because it lets them explain it kind of ham-fistedly, but it makes sense within the context of what's going on.
Yeah, it's very fun, and I guess like I said, we're getting to spoilers, so like the main conceit of the series is magic. Anybody can do magic, but that is a heavily guarded secret because when everyone knew that, there were wars naturally. People use magic for evil. So,
Mm-hmm.
an organization was formed to govern magic and, gate it, you know, behind a system and people will
Right.
use it responsibly and, very specific laws. And the average person isn't
Mm-hmm.
allowed to know that. Anybody can perform magic with magic ink that is made from a very specific uh, tree and very specific symbols. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Coco accidentally stumbles upon, not accidentally, purposefully, because she is given a magic book when she's a child by uh, evil witch, to say the least. The Brimhaps they call
I was
them.
gonna say I don't know
Uh,
if we know his name yet.
don't tell me. Don't tell me anything. I don't know this.
I won't. I won't. I won't.
I didn't even know it was him. I thought it was a woman. Why don't you say these things?
I'm
But
sorry. I'm sorry.
but they're giving a book that is full of forbidden spells, and she one of the lead characters, Kiefer, who by the way, let's just talk about the voice cast for a second. I'm watching it dubbed. Are you watching it dubbed or sub?
Mhm. I am watching it though.
So I didn't know it was gonna be simul dubbed, so I was pleasantly surprised. A lot of
Yeah, same.
British jump scares, but not surprised.
Very much British jump scare.
But not
British
surprised.
Keyfree was very interesting to
Yeah,
me.
not
But getting
surprised.
used to him.
Yeah, because I'm like, it makes sense. Like it's magic stuff.
Yeah.
It's like based in like English fantasy, so that makes sense. But it was a
But
British
like,
jump scare. But like,
I was like, I've never seen him as British. Like I didn't. That wasn't even a thought in my mind.
so I like the first off, I like all of their voices. Like really good, I think voice cast. They're all incredible so far, especially Kiefer. But also
Yeah.
Kiefer kind of like, which I didn't necessarily think. I didn't necessarily think that while reading the manga, but the way they draw and animate him in the show, plus
Oh.
plus his voice, which is
Oh.
always kind of like
Dijon.
whispering in your ear. I'm like,
Dijon.
why is he way hotter to me now?
Dijon. I'm putting my hand on your shoulder, right? As a person who has read the rest of them, you don't even know the half of it.
Look, I read one.
You don't even know what's coming.
Okay. I read one thing that gave me a slight hint, and I was like, I'm never reading anything else ever again. Like they didn't even say a spoiler. They just hinted at it, and I was like, no, because there's a scene that happens in episode 5 where he tells now Noah, like, don't tell them, and then he's like, but I have to report it, and then he gives him a look, and I'm like, whoa, Kiefer, calm down. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm excited to read more because I got to know.
Listen,
but yeah,
I've been on the bandwagon. Okay,
yeah.
Having read the manga originally, I'm so glad that people are realizing that Kiefer is hot because
yes. I was just like, in the manga I didn't see. Now that I've accepted it, now I see it in a manga. But in the anime specifically, though,
like
he's just way hotter. Maybe it's just because he moves now. Maybe it's just because it's in motion. But also, no, I think it's also the voice. And he's always whispering. Stop whispering. Back up, Kiefer. Why are you so close? Why are you in my ear? He makes me feel like I'm watching this shit with headphones on.
Right. But it's so funny because like the fandom has always called Kiefer a bit slutty just because of the fit, his demeanor.
He just wears the tightest black turtleneck known to man.
Right. I don't know who's on the animation team, right? But they're making him sluttier. He's not nearly this slutty in the manga.
It's the same people that designed Leon Kennedy and Resident Evil Requiem. It's that same group of women.
The people that designed Reagan and Mob Psycho 100, you know about that, right? That they made him like mad hot because one of the animators was like really into him.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really funny.
But yeah, like attractiveness aside, the costume designs are great, especially Kiefer's. Mm-hmm. But getting back into like the slight synopsis, like Kiefer comes to where Coco lives, which is with her mother, where they sell cloth, and uh, flying carriage breaks, and he goes to fix it. But he does it in their house, in their workshop, away from prying eyes. But she sneaks up to look anyway, and she discovers that magic is done using special ink and symbols. And then she realizes the wand she and book she got from that brimmed hat witch has those symbols and has the specific ink and pen. So she uses it, does magic, it goes awry, and her mother gets like frozen in like crystals or ice, and Kiefer saves her, and then she becomes a way from him for him to track down and learn more about the brimmed hat. So he takes her under his wing as an apprentice, and that's where the story kicks off. And yeah, the magic system's awesome.
It
Um,
is.
I remember the first time I heard about Witch Hat was because someone was using it as an example of how they don't sexualize the characters, and in fact, there's a character that is a attempts to be a pervert and then like immediately
It's
gets
immediately shut down.
immediately shut down, and I'm very interested to get to that part in the manga because I'm as I watched the most recent episode, I realized I was like, man, after the dragon stuff, I don't really remember anything. I know I read volumes 2 and 3, but I legitimately don't remember anything about them. And then as it goes on, I'm like, oh, I'm starting to remember. But like, yeah, I can't remember if I got to that part, but I think I did.
Probably not. It's pretty late in the manga if it's the part that I think they're talking
But
about.
yeah,
God, is this how you feel when like I'm watching and or reading things you watched or read before, and
yes,
you're like you have so many things to say but you can't say them because they're all spoilers? Is this
this is
what
me.
it feels like?
This is me all the time.
This shit is diabolical. I would not wish this on my worst enemy because there's so many things you're saying, and I'm like I literally can't say anything because I know I have a leap ball knowledge.
Yeah, like I said earlier, but we're gonna be reviewing the first volume. Actually, I don't think I said that earlier. I said that when we weren't recording. um,
Oh yeah.
I next week's episode, we're gonna be reviewing the first volume of Witch Hat Atelier, and also a little bit of the second volume because I'm gonna start reading that before then. Um, so well, if you couldn't tell, A is caught up on the manga. So
Very extremely.
it's not like I can spoil the anime for you.
Right.
Because so far nothing's different because I'm reading it at the same time.
Mhm.
But like, let me tell you something. They animated Keyfree coming to save them and making the water dragon so damn well.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you to see. I've been meaning to rewatch it because they posted a clip of it on YouTube, Crunchyroll, and I put it in my watch later because like I want to watch it again because
Real.
it's so good. But also that is a moment that shows you one how good Kiefer is, but also how versatile the magic system is. That he can make he can make complex shapes out of water, which like water magic is his specialty, and that's interesting and very complicated. And I can't even begin to understand. You got to have like a PhD in magic to do that shit, which he has. So like,
Right.
it's crazy. I'm about to look up like all of the Kiefer fan art I can.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll get spoilers.
Oh, you're right. Damn.
Don't do that.
Thank you for that.
Like,
Because I almost did, but then I was
any
like, you're
other
right.
character,
It's gonna get
especially-
spoiled. You're actually all right. Because I'm gonna get spoiled. Because I already have an idea of like where this is going. like the hints are there.
Oh yeah.
The hints are there.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to get there. I'm about to just lock in on the manga, Loki, because I got to convince some people to buy me volumes 2 and 3. Like I said, I have them digitally, but I want them physically. But I don't want to buy those. I'm gonna start buying them with 3. But because I already bought them digitally, I don't want to have to buy them myself again physically. So I'm gonna get somebody else to buy me 2 and 3 for like my birthday or Christmas. But I'll start buying them from 3 because I wanna catch up.
Makes sense.
It's good.
Now, I will say, for both you and our viewers out there, don't look at anything about Witch Hat. Just don't even do it. Just don't even do it. It's not worth it. One thing I do want to touch on before we move on, it's been so refreshing to see people see Agat and like understand her deal without being like, oh, she's a bitch or she's mean. It's like
Yeah.
God, that was the most the part I was
Especially,
the most terrified
yeah,
about. But it's like she's a little girl. She
yeah.
doesn't know any better.
I also think episode 6 for me really, like, at one point I was, oh, she's mean, but then in episode 6, she never really, she's not really mean. Like, she
Yeah.
like Coco will like be like, hey, do you want to eat lunch with us? And she says, no, thank you. I'm gonna eat lunch by myself in my room. Like, she's very, yeah,
Standoffish.
very standoffish, but she's like respectful. Like, she's not
Yeah.
necessarily like mean after what she does at the beginning, where she like almost tries to get her to fail. But she wasn't. That wasn't even her intention. She was just like,
Right.
I did this, so you have to do it too.
Have to do it too.
But
It's like,
she
you
didn't think
have
she would
to.
succeed. She was just like, you can't just waltz your way in here. I worked hard for this. You do as well.
Mhm.
And then she succeeded, and she was a little upset because she's, like you said, she's a child, so she was a little
Right.
upset. Like, oh, you passed the test that I wanted you to fail.
Yeah, my
So,
arbitrary test.
yeah. But then she starts to, and there's moments where she like gets mad at Coco, but like at the end of the day, she still respects Coco, especially for having succeeded where she thought she would fail, and also coming up with good ideas when the time calls for it. Even though
Right.
she's a novice, she's still doing as good as she can, and she also helps Coco. Like, even before we kind of get that turn, when they first meet, and Coco like messes up that spell, she asks to look at it, and then she very politely just tells her what she did wrong.
Corrects it. Yeah. Like, my biggest sticking point for Agat, it's like, if Agat did not like Coco, she would not have given her sylph shoes. Period. Okay? She would not have lent them to her.
Yeah, I don't tell me, but I'm very excited for Coco to get her wand because they keep touching on the fact that she's better with that stone thing that she uses to like trace cloth, and I'm very interested to see what her wand is like once she actually gets it properly. I think I actually saw pictures of it somewhere before, so I think I have an idea what it looks like, but I'm still very excited to actually get to the point where she actually gets her proper wand.
I won't say a word. Also, the dynamic between the girls is so sweet. Like, it's sweet in the manga, but the way they play it, especially Tachia and Riche, I was really, really scared that they were gonna like fall on the back burner in favor of Coco and Agat, but they didn't, and they're like just as important in the show than as they are in the manga, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad because they're like also another like favorite part of it of mine. Like, I love the relationship that the four apprentices form over the course of it. It's so cute.
Yeah, I'm really curious to learn more about the restrictions of magic because I feel like performing magic on people's bodies could be really good for medical purposes, and I'm curious why it's like 100% forbidden, and
You're
why
killing me. You're
they're
killing me, Dijon.
and like and like why they won't let them do it, period, and not just like put restrictions on it, because in my mind I'm like, that sounds useful as hell. Also in the outro they show like a hand that looks like it's turning into a werewolf, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Does somebody do werewolf magic on themselves? Like, what the fuck is that? Why are they turning
Oh
into a
my god,
werewolf?
Dijon, you're literally killing me.
And
You're
that
killing me.
and I have a feeling they show it in the outro. It's probably gonna happen this season. And if they're covering damn near a chapter, sometimes two, or like a chapter and a half, sometimes, it'll probably cover the first 3 volumes this season. Because the volumes are like 5-6 chapters, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, very excited to
Extremely.
watch more, to read more. It's really good so far. Shout out to Buck Films, who also worked on in partnership with other studios. They worked on Komi Can't Communicate,
Oh.
and but by themselves. Their first project was Zom 100, and this is only their second solo project. So,
Which is insane to me. Like, to go from Zom 100 to Witch Hat Atelier as your second solo project, and then to do it this well, like, Bug Films, we will be watching your career with great interest.
yeah, it's really good. But yeah, that's all I got. If you have anything else.
Nope, that's all. I'm Witch Hatted out. Now I need to go read the manga again or catch up.
Yeah, so you can find all of our ads in the link in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, And subscribe to our channel if you want to see more storytelling content, and to click the notification bell so you're notified when we post. Peace.
See ya.